Start with paper 1, as you know, 2 hours and 50 minutes, but always think about it as 170 minutes. 170 minutes, do 3 tasks, and remember, one of those tasks is worth 25% of your overall grade. That's your composing. So what I always say is, those 70 minutes, take them off and give them to your composing. It shouldn't take you longer than 70 minutes to write a really good, substantial, 1,000 word, 1,200 word essay. Pick your topic from the 7 options. Decide whether you're doing a personal essay, the short story, the speech, the discursive essay, whatever. Do a bit of planning and write slowly and carefully, rereading your work. 70 minutes is loads of time. That leaves you with 100 minutes. So the 100 minutes that you have, you've got to do your A and B tasks. Now, question A and question B tasks are worth the same amount of marks. They're both worth 50 marks, but they're not as time consuming as each other. Question A is much more time consuming. You've got to write 10 separate paragraphs in response to question A, because there's 3 questions, 2 worth 15, 1 worth 20, and the rule is for every 5 marks available, you have to write a paragraph, make a distinct point in a distinct paragraph, back it up with quotation. There are also 3 texts, and you've got to make that decision about which one you're going to do. The lads here, behind the camera, know that last year, the first text was more difficult than the second text. So what you want to do is make sure you take the time to have a look at the texts to make sure you pick the one that suits you best. I would say that will take about 10 minutes. So what I'm saying is, you give your question A about an hour, 60 minutes. And that leaves you with a half an hour to do your question B. There's no reading to be done for the question B task. You only have to write up to 5, maybe 6 paragraphs. The rough approximation there is a paragraph for every 10 marks available. There's always a task given within the question, 3 tasks given within the question. So your job is usually to introduce, write at least 1 paragraph on each one of those tasks and a brief conclusion. It's not going to take you more than half an hour to plan it, write it, and execute it. So that's your time management for paper 1. 170 minutes, 70 minutes for your composing, an hour for your question A, half an hour for your question B, and then you got 10 minutes of wiggle room. I would use those 10 minutes at the start of the exam to look through the paper, carefully choose the questions that I'm going to answer before I start working. One final thing, and again, some people like pineapples on pizzas, so whatever works for you. I would always do my question A first, then my composing task, and then my question B task. I wouldn't start with composing because it's worth 25%, and at the start of the exam you might be a bit nervous. The question A's are nice to get started on because they're broken into small sections, and usually the first one is quite straightforward and quite simple. So that would be my way of managing the exam. There's your time management, and then composing, question A and question B task.